Hospitality. Yeah, the verses that we read on Truth Be Told Tuesday, Luke 4, verses 38 through 41, they scream hospitality. All right, yes, Jesus healed on that in those verses. Yes, he rebuked demons in those verses, and he healed all who came to him in those verses. He did all of those things, but he did all of those things no matter where he was. What stood out to me in those verses was hospitality of Simon, a trait or a heart that for some of us needs to be developed. And I am one of those of us. The Bible speaks of opening your home, to inviting people over, to caring for the sick as hospitality. All the verses today that we are going to be reading are from the New International Version, the NIV. 1 Peter 4, verse 9. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling. In other words, when people come over unexpected, unannounced, uninvited, don't grumble. Be pleasant. Offer them some water or a snack. Have a chat. All right. Hebrews 13, verse 2. Don't forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing so, some people have shown hospitality to angels without even knowing it. Now, I know that you need to be cautious when picking up hitchhikers. I know that. But I will tell you, every time that I pretty much understand and know that I am helping an angel. And you don't have to go as far as picking up a stranger along the road. But bottom line, be kind, be generous to everyone you see in your day-to-day life. They just may be an angel. Romans 12:13. Share with the Lord's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. Share, that's a word we taught our children and we forgot as adults. Okay, and sharing or giving away to people who need things is a joy for them as well as it's a joy for yourself. Try it. You might just find a new hobby. Being a conduit between people who have and people who do not. In 3 John chapter 1, verses 8, we ought, therefore, to show hospitality to such people so that they may work together for truth. All right, I needed clarification on this one. Who are these such people? Well, in verse 8, before verse 8, they're talking about people that are going out spreading the gospel and the good news of Jesus. So that would be, who would that be? The preachers, the teachers, the YouTube influencers, anyone who is going out and spreading the gospel of Jesus and that are expanding the kingdom of God. These are the such people. Acts 28:7. There was an estate nearby that belonged to Publius, the chief official of the island. He welcomed us to his home and showed us generous hospitality for 3 days. And what this verse speaks to those who have accomplished much in their lives. Don't forget to be welcoming and to show generosity and hospitality to people. Pondering this verse is actually making me cry. If those who have been blessed with much would show generous hospitality to others, would give to others, would share what they have with others, I don't think we would need government assistance. People would be taking care of people, and I think that is what God intended for his creation to be and do on earth from the beginning. Romans 16:23. Gaius, whose hospitality I and the whole church were enjoyed, send you his greetings. Now this is Paul writing to a church in Rome. So here's a man who his hospitality, not just to Paul, but to the whole entire church, they enjoyed. All right. This is Paul writing in this book. Look at who he is hanging out with, giving kudos to. And it's very generous people and a person of status in the community. They were all showing hospitality to each other. What a great church to belong to and a community to live in. Hospitality is definitely something that we grow in. leaving the world of selfish ambition. Nothing wrong with working hard. There is nothing wrong with working hard, but when that work is your main focus, it's hard. So leaving the world of selfish ambition, and there's nothing wrong with working hard. It is when that work has no time for caring for others. And we enter into a working life that has time for our family, time for friends, and time for strangers. We are entering into God's kingdom of hospitality. Leaving the world of hoarding, what you have only, leaving the world of hoarding, what you have only for yourself and not willing to share, we enter into an existence of sharing, that long forgotten interaction with others we were taught as children. Thanks for stopping by. I am Joyful Jay, just living truth on purpose with Jesus. I have been living on purpose with Jesus for over 30 years. He has brought me through abuse, addiction, and several unfavorable medical diagnoses. And it is because of him that I am now sitting in front of a camera on YouTube, being his voice vehicle. All right, the YouTube ask. Please subscribe, share, comment. And I can't never remember the 4 things. There's 4 things, but I can't remember what they are. Anyway, you've been here on YouTube before. All right. Have a good day. Bye.